And then you go. Have you got any hardware? Oh, you certainly have.
Is this your one, sir?
Yeah, that's what I need.
My wife's favourite song, but I can't learn it. Just simply
I'm being honest, I got your back, buddy. Got your back.
That's what I need.
Mate. And then you go, well, how many?
So what's the story then? How did you
Talking about origins.
Why are you here now? How did you get your name?
One day I walked into an office in my new job, and it was an office. But then in this corner, it was feral. And I thought, whoever lives there, I've got a lot of time. And there was books on gardening, and there was Buddhas, and there was all sorts of shit, and they didn't fit. And then you walked in. And then after, and I kept hassling because I found out that you drummer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I get hassling by the band. New kid. Didn't know anyone around.
Leave that washing machine outside. It's quite a long story. Not a long story, but it's a long time. I've been recording music with Matt since I was a kid, really. Since right back in the day. This studio, it's like a TARDIS. It's exactly the same as it was kind of 25 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It was exactly the same. And you've moved around, haven't you?
Yeah, this is my third place.
But the room is exactly the same. The hangings, the walls, the equipment is everything. So I feel like I've been making music with Matt in this room, even though it's moved a lot, for a long time. And in lots of different guises, so not just with my material, but moreover with every band I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm. We very much grew up musically. It was a little group of us where we were all very influential on each other, if only as a kind of, oh God, Pete's getting good, I better get good. Oh, Danny's getting good. But really positive about it, and it was also the age that we were at the time. We were all very into very similar ranges of music, even though we've all gone into different directions, but we've always been sort of close over all this period of time.
Yeah.
Always done records together.
And we kind of hit the early 90s together, which was a big thing with the Nirvana, and everybody got excited at that point about music. We'd all been playing in various different little student poppy kind of bands, but then Nirvana came along and the whole grunge thing, and we all got very excited about that. And then obviously with the Bristol sound that was going on at the time with the Massive Attack and these things, so it was a very potent, pregnant time musically, really, for us all.
Brilliant time.
It was amazing, yeah. But you can imagine, so Matt, being a mate with a studio, became a catalyst for whatever any of us were doing at the time.
And that's where they filmed. You know, Full Metal Jacket, the film.
Yeah.
So we had all these pyrotechnics, explosions. They were really good. It was like proper sort of like.
I'm alright in a minute.
Black and sexy. Just black. Okay, so not thin and white like I'm reading. I don't want it thin and white. I want it black and sexy. Yeah, thin and white, I think.
I've played that since I was.
I know.
Paul was saying something about me playing something.
Pete, I've known for a long time, not as long as Ben, he sort of grew up with him, but Pete got in touch with me over, sent me a text, New Year's Day, because I look back for all my texts, I've had about 300 texts from Pete over the last few months. New Year's Day, texting me, I'm doing this thing with, I've got my own music, do you fancy doing the drums? And I straight away texted back, because I hadn't done anything for so long. I thought, oh, this is just the opportunity I've been waiting for. So yeah, I said, yeah, definitely try it. But I did it with a but. I haven't played for 22, 23 years, and I really think I'm majorly rusty, which to be fair I was. And luckily Pete stuck with it, because I was in his room playing all this stuff, because I used to play quite hard, heavy stuff, and I was having to play this stuff quite like a mouse, like we're doing today, but even quieter in his room, and I was struggling big time with it. I said to Pete every time he started playing, is this alright? I'm really sorry, I can't play very well. And he gave me about 3 months grace before we got in here, and then we recorded what we had in here. Me and Ben, neither of us really knew what we were doing, did we?
Well, the thing is, we never had Pete had some songs, and we never had an idea of what the band was going to sound like, because only until we recorded everything.
No one did. No one knew where I was going.
Yeah, no one knew what it was going to be, because it was just Pete had some songs on acoustic guitar, and we just had to play along with it. So it became a situation where we were practicing in a very quiet loft.
In a room the size of this, really small, really quiet, and we just didn't know what it was going to sound like. Then we recorded it. Luckily Matt's a bloody genius at recording. Spent about half an hour setting it up, nothing, none of this messing about. Set it up, played for it, and Ben goes, right, let's see what we sound like. Went into the control room and was like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. That'll do.
Yeah.
And that's it, isn't it?
It's a bit like painting a picture with your eyes shut, because you don't really know what you painted until you open your eyes, and then you can see what you've got. So now we know we've got a style, so we can work from now on and know that we've got a certain way of playing, a certain style, and improve. And Pete's got he's got loads of songs. He's writing songs all the time, which is lucky enough. I'm a guitar player. I've been playing for years and years. Pete's only been playing guitar for a short period. He's a drummer by trade, and a very good drummer. He plays jazz and all sorts of types, which is what Andy found difficult as well, because Pete had written some of the drum patterns, and it wasn't the patterns that, say, Andy's used to doing.
Everyone plays different, don't they, I suppose. But I wanted to try and emulate what he did, so it was a bit of a struggle. But I mean, the setup that we got is just cool, with a T-chest bass, snare drum just in an old trash can, and a couple of bits and bobs, and that's it. And it just sounds great. And it recorded really well, so that's it. I'm just going to stick with that. Yeah. I just play with cool rods, so it's just chilled out, no sticks. So it takes the whole sound of it down. The sticks tend to give it too much edge and too much top, and it just suits what we've got. So it's all acoustic-y based. Him on that awesome Gibson. And it's just a great sound, the whole thing that works really well.
Every time I get a nice drum cue, something else
Stop the Press. Guthrie Kennard is in town. A fantastic singer-songwriter from Texas. He's graciously asked me to come along and play while he's touring and promoting his new album, which you will see in the credits at the end, and I suggest you buy it. I couldn't finish this documentary without having him in it. He's a great friend, a dear friend, and a huge inspiration. I remember you saying, this is kind of 7-8 years ago, and I remember you saying that you not turned your back on being a bass player, but you've done that for so long, and you've been writing these songs all this time, and you just decided that you'd hit this point in your life where it's like, no, I'm going to do my own stuff, I'm going to do my own songs. And that was hugely inspirational for me at that time.
Well, thank you. But I mean, you're a great drummer, and when people are used to someone being so good on the instrument, it's really takes them back when you go, wait a second, I don't want to do this anymore. I got more to say than what I'm saying on the instrument that you're known for. So when I did that when playing bass, I'm not saying that I was good, I'm just saying I had a lot more to say than just what I was doing with the other people. But I always chose to play with artists who were their own artists and original wrote their own songs and stuff. And it took me a long time, you know, years to be taken serious, as you well know. And now I love what I'm doing.
Right.
And I just put blinders on that I wasn't saying with other people that I was playing with on my own instrument. I love playing with them because they were my textbooks. You know, I mean, I love playing bass, and I love the people that I was playing bass with. But I wanted to do what, you know, what I just saw Donovan do. And so it took me a long time to make that decision, because you have to start all over again.
All over again,
And it might be in a corner, in a pub or bar or wherever. And for years I did that and still do it. But the thing about it is, the difference is I'm sitting in a corner doing my own songs. The songs speak for themselves.
Right.
And that makes me feel really good. And sometimes I go, oh gosh, you know, I have to, you know, pull this ego back and realize that I'm blessed to be able to sit in this corner, pay the truck payment, and play my own songs.
Right.
And so, and listening to your album yesterday, and it's just awesome. And so I'm glad to see you doing that, because I think when people have that in their hearts, that's what they ought to shoot for, because life's too short not to go for it. Success is in many different forms.
Like you said, life's too short for playing other people's songs.
Yeah. Did that work for you?
Yeah, they were. Thanks, buddy.
Oh no, I love you, Pete. I think you're awesome, and thank you for doing it. You've just always been so kind to me.
Obviously, you know, as with the bands previously, and as for Ben and Andy, we'd all come through in various different guises, lots of different music, from jazz and funk stuff and rock stuff, and our haircuts changed, you know, and but we never really changed. I don't think. He definitely never changed.
I didn't change my haircut.
Oh.
As they said earlier, are you still wearing the same sweatshirt you were wearing 25 years ago? And I had to think about it and think, no, I'm pretty sure this is a new one. But yeah, it's dark green and the same as I always wore.
Yeah. So
the funny thing about how my studio came about is when we were all younger playing together, is you could see that everybody was choosing what they were going to do, and I never really got into the playing as much as Pete, because Pete's a killer drummer, and never got into it as much as everyone else into the individual playing. I was always very much about the studio, building a studio. That was very much my contribution to what we were all doing. But I mean, the best description of this place, which I also feel kind of describes the time we were in, is this is simply the 4-track that's got out of hand.
Yeah.
Because I never set out to go, you know, I'm going to have a studio and run it commercially. No, what I did is I bought a multi-track recorder and started recording, and then mates came round and they started giving me a bit of money. I could get a new mic or a new this, and I'll buy that, and before you know it, suddenly it's this enormous amount of gear that I've acquired over the years. Yeah.
Look what you did!
Look at the monster I've released, you know. But on the point that Pete says of this room is followed around, is the desk I've had since '98. So, you know, it's been a big part of the last 20 odd years as well.
And it's that, for me, so obviously writing my own material, Matt gave me a lot of confidence, which is key really in anything you do. And because, as I said, I've always been a drummer in a band, always been a drummer. I've always had these kind of harbored these ambitions of writing, record songs, not necessarily to front a band and play, but definitely to write and record. And having Matt as a mate and this facility has helped me grow as a player and as a musician. And Matt's just got a great way of being able to take small ideas that I've got or things and help me kind of expand them, and it's given me the kind of courage really to expand that and build on that. So I record some tunes, Matt mixes them, sounds great, gives me confidence, so I record some more tunes and so on and so forth. And that's really how it's all built. It's built. I mean, there's this album with the band as it is, the third album. I've got stuff previous that was just us knocking about.
Really good though.
And it's come out really well. So it's that constant growth thing, it's that organic growth thing that Matt harbours so well, really. You know, I think you've done that with most projects.
I think from my perspective, so many people would like to be a producer or whatever the term is, but really most people are just not sort of really born to do that role, because it's not about the gear, and it's really just making people feel comfortable and being enthusiastic about the music that they're making.
Yeah.
Not getting enthusiastic about what microphones you're using, because that's not important. That's fun. Oh, let's put one of those on. But you know, either it's a good song or a good piece of music, or it's not, and the microphones aren't going to make any difference. I also have an enormously wide musical taste. That was one of the things that was very us as a group back in the early 90s. Is despite we're listening to loads of Nirvana or we're listening to whatever, we're also listening to loads of stuff like, you know, Go-Go and a huge range of music, and that is always very cross-pollinated between everything.
And another thing, this man is impossible to impress.
Yeah, really, terribly.
It keeps me trying.
I know. I actually find it's important to not be impressed by everything. Otherwise, people, you know, you don't raise people's game very much.
No. You've got to keep us down, Matt.
I did. Like the backing vocal thing. Shocking.
You've got to keep us down.
Yeah, totally. Just let you know who's actually in charge.